Hey guys, I'm this on my laptop, so the quality might not be as good, but we're gonna ignore that. That's half the reason this is in black and white, because it looks like crap when it's in color. But it's also to set the mood of when Elvis was alive, because they didn't have colored movies or TV. Hell, I don't even think they had TV. Maybe a little bit, not much back then, but you know. But it was black and white, so I was like, what better way to do it than the way they used to do it, right? And then later in the late 60s, I want to say, movies finally were in color, cartoons were starting to be in color, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, before we get into this crazy video that everybody has their theory about somehow, I just want to put out a disclaimer saying to the Presleys and to the Elvis fans, this is not meant to offend anybody by any means. This is just something off the internet that I was like, I just want to do. Because I'm an Elvis fan myself, and I've loved him growing up. And I don't want to offend anybody, especially the Presleys, if they were to ever see this video. Just something. I just think it's really interesting. All of this, the theories that everybody has come up with, from the groundskeeper that takes care of Graceland and to people in movies, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Personally, what I believe, I don't believe he's alive, but that's just my opinion, But I'm halfway convinced with the stuff that I have on my phone. I'm like, damn, that's damn near convincing. But to keep in mind, to start this video off, there are about 7 people in this world that look exactly like you. So when we're doing this whole video, please keep that in mind in the back or front or whatever in your head, that there are people that look just like you. So, is Elvis dead? Is Elvis alive? The world may never know. Unless somehow he is alive and he's like, yeah, I just faked my death for the last 70 years or however long he's been dead. But I don't think, from whatever Priscilla has been saying for the last so many years since he's passed, that Elvis would be that kind of person to fake his death, because apparently he was a very caring, genuine person, and she said multiple times, because I've watched many videos before I even made this video, that he didn't want to be forgotten. And so I don't believe, as an Elvis fan, that he would fake his own death, but you never know. With all the crap that he had going on, drugs, alcohol, apparently he was starting to become unpopular. He was starting to become unpopular, and nobody, because he was getting older, not as many fans were paying to see him, I guess, or whatever, and he was starting to lose fame. But it's funny to look back and think about then compared to now, because he's still so very popular. Like, it's crazy. I'm 23, and I know damn near pretty much all of his songs, because I listened to him throughout my childhood. I'm only 23. So he's definitely, his longevity, I guess, as you would say, is still very much alive. His, I don't know how you would say it, but you get what I mean. But let's start off with that one thing that I was saying, that there are like 7 people in the world that look just like you. I can say this is true because a few years ago, I was swinging at an elementary school, and there was a kid that was swinging on the other side, and I shit you not, it was the craziest thing. I even tweeted it back then. I can't remember what year it was, but if you guys ever go into my tweets way back when, like 10 years ago or something, this kid looked exactly to the T like my face kind of now, but me as a child. And I was probably in my teen years when this happened. I was in like my early mid-teen years, but it was mind-blowing to me. I was like, I can't believe I actually saw somebody that looked exactly like me. Like, as a kid, in kid form. Like, that just blew my freaking mind. And I was like, well, I guess it is true what they say. I haven't seen anybody since, but that's just one of the many to keep in mind. So, I want to show you guys this photo. So, if you've ever seen Home Alone, you obviously, if you've ever noticed that the guy standing behind looks exactly like Elvis Presley, which is insane. I'm looking at the picture now, and to get a better shot, I'm looking at the picture now, and that looks exactly like a picture from a movie that he did so many years ago. I don't even know what. But this movie, Home Alone, was made in 1990. 1990 minus 1977.
That would be 13.
So Elvis would have been dead for 13 years after this, when this movie came out. 13 years. So, Elvis died looking like this. Now, what's crazy is that this picture of Elvis in a casket came out, and it looks like the younger version of him. Which is kind of mind-boggling. Now, I know they could have cleaned him up and everything, and, you know, whatever. But his face features are skinnier, which has me halfway convinced that that wasn't really Elvis. That they somehow did a wax thing of him, maybe. Is it real or not? I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I didn't want to look into it. It kind of creeped me out just looking at it. I don't do good with things like that. So I was like, I don't even want to go there. Not even gonna go there. But Elvis was chubbier in the late 70s, as we've all seen. Whatever. But he looks like a younger version of Elvis, which I was like, what? But then, this comes out. The nose in the casket is bigger than Elvis's actual nose. His nose is skinnier. Which is extremely weird, kind of. And maybe they cut his hair or slicked it back. Again, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, but why? I don't know. I can't explain it because it's just so mind-boggling in a way, and I don't want to say something that's gonna offend somebody because I want to be as respectful as possible. But maybe they did cut his hair because I know they do stuff like that, like they groom him, and then especially if it's like an open casket kind of thing, and I don't know how they did his funeral. If that's really Elvis, they did a really good job. You have Priscilla and Lisa Marie on Oprah. I don't know what year it was when they did it, but slips up and says, I just talked to him the other day. Or we were just talking about this the other day. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, but here's the clip.
And it's exactly what you said the other day.
So now to the most probably compelling, convincing evidence out there that has literally got people convinced that Elvis Presley is still alive and he lives at Graceland. that he's been faking it this entire time, and now he just ground keeps and keeps Graceland beautiful and pretty for all of us to come see, because from what Priscilla has said, he loved that house so much. Like, the first thing he would show you, he would just show off the house, because he loved it. It was beautiful, and which it is. Graceland is very beautiful. I've seen many videos of it. I can't wait to someday go, honestly. But I mean, if you're gonna fake your death and like hide out, because apparently he wasn't very social. He liked to stay in his room for weeks and days and whatever. Why? You can basically have somebody do something or go out and buy stuff for you. You don't have to go do it yourself, especially if you're famous. You don't want to go through all that bullshit going through the store and be like, oh my god, it's you! Kind of type of thing. So he literally could have anybody just go to the store and buy him shit and then come back. So it would be really convincing that he faked his death. And that he lived out his days and now he's the groundkeeper. And I mean, with that one video that came out of this guy, this clip, he does this, which apparently is the sign of life. I don't know, I've never seen it done before. I don't know. I don't know. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. But people are convinced that means that Elvis is still, he's the groundskeeper and he still lives on his days out at Graceland. I mean, he kinda, if you look at the video, you see his cheeks and whatever. I mean, it kinda looks like Elvis. I mean, just from the way his hair looks and his facial features look, I mean, and that was all the way back in 2016. And then there's that one. But then there was this chick claiming that she met the groundskeeper, and it's not really Elvis. I think. So apparently that guy's name is Bill. But what I noticed straight off about that guy that was standing next to her is that he's a little bit skinnier than what you see the groundskeeper being. He's a little more chubby. Now, for all we know, he could have lost weight, but that guy looks absolutely nothing like the groundskeeper to me. I mean, kind of white hair, beard, but not a lot convincing. And then I went to the comments. They were saying the same exact thing that I was thinking, is that this is a completely different guy. He looks different. He's skinnier.
Okay, hi everybody. This is the famous groundskeeper that everyone thinks is Elvis. I found him here in Memphis.
I'm not really 81, okay?
He's not 80. And I literally found him. So you guys
You
know
did.
him.
I'm like a Pokemon Go guy.
His name is Bill, and he's Elvis's cousin. Is that true too?
Yes, what's this?
And I found him, so you all can give me so much credit. Yeah, TCB.
TCB, baby. We love y'all. TCB, baby. See y'all.
And I was like, yeah, I totally see that. But he could have lost weight, so, I mean, you never know. And it does say on the location that is Graceland. And maybe that is Graceland. I don't know, or maybe you can input the location. I haven't tested it out. I just happened to notice that just now. So, that's still a mystery. We'll have the guy who went on Jimmy Fallon, and they talked about the theory.
I've heard that one. There's also the Elvis one.
And about how, which leads us back to what I was saying, how that he's the extra in Home Alone. And I mean, if you look at the side by side photo of Elvis behind her and then Elvis from one of his movies, I mean, he's a little chubbier, which he was later in life. I don't know. Is it Elvis? That's what you guys decide. I mean, it kind of looks like Elvis, but it also kind of looks like somebody else. You know, I'm not. I mean, I'm kind of convinced that might be Elvis, but why would all these years later, and everybody would know about it? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me because it would be out that Elvis is still alive. He wouldn't be able to not get away with something like that. So, down in the comments below, leave what you think of all of this and what your opinion is. That do you think he's alive? Do you think he faked his death? Do you think he's living his days out as the groundskeeper of Graceland, where he's beloved home? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it.